A 130-pound Cane Corso was 72 hours away from being put down. No one wanted him. His files said 3 words: too dangerous, unadoptable. But a little girl with pigtails walked up to his kennel, pressed her tiny hand against the glass, and did something that made every shelter worker in the room stop breathing. And 6 months later, what he did on those stairs will haunt you. A 130-pound Cane Corso named Diesel sat in kennel 19 at the Magnolia Parish Animal Shelter in southern Louisiana with exactly 72 hours left to live. His file had been stamped with 3 words no dog recovers from: unadoptable, behavioral risk, scheduled for euthanasia, Friday, 8 a.m. Diesel had been surrendered twice. The first owner said he was too big. The second said he growled at their guests and they didn't feel safe anymore. What neither owner mentioned was that Diesel had never bitten anyone, never snapped, never even bared his teeth. He was just enormous, jet black, with a head the size of a basketball and a stare that made people cross the street. In a world that judges on sight, that was enough. For 97 days, Diesel sat in that kennel. He watched families walk past, watched them point at the Labradors and the Beagles and the Golden Retrievers. Nobody pointed at him. Nobody stopped. The shelter staff said he had given up. He stopped eating full meals. He stopped lifting his head when the door opened. He just lay on the concrete, facing the wall, like he already knew how the story ended. Here's what most people don't know about Cane Corsos. They were originally bred in Italy as guardian dogs, protectors of families and farms. They are not wired for aggression. They are wired for loyalty. But loyalty without a family is just a dog sitting in a cage waiting for someone who never comes. Tuesday afternoon, 3 days before Diesel's scheduled date, a woman named Keisha walked in with her 11-month-old daughter Zara on her hip. Keisha wasn't there for a dog. She was dropping off blankets her church had collected for the shelter's winter drive. But Zara had other plans. As Keisha talked to the front desk volunteer, Zara squirmed out of her arms and toddled down the hallway toward the kennels. By the time Keisha caught up, Zara was standing in front of kennel 19 with both palms pressed flat against the glass, staring at the biggest, blackest dog in the building. Diesel was staring back, not barking, not growling, just looking at this tiny human with an expression the shelter manager later described as something I've never seen from him before. He looked hopeful. "Absolutely not," Keisha said when the volunteer suggested it. "That dog is bigger than my couch." But Zara wouldn't move. She stood at that glass for 11 minutes, babbling at Diesel, slapping the window, giggling every time he tilted his massive head. And when Keisha finally picked her up to leave, Zara screamed. Not a tantrum scream, a scream like something was being taken from her. Keisha looked at Diesel. Diesel looked at Keisha. And somewhere between logic and instinct, something shifted. "How long does he have?" she asked. 3 days. Keisha closed her eyes, took a breath. "We'll take him. I see you're still watching, but haven't subscribed yet. That honestly stings a little. Hit that subscribe button. What happens next is something you need to see." The first month was chaos. Diesel didn't know how to live in a house. He knocked over a lamp with his tail on day 1. He ate an entire loaf of bread off the counter on day 3. He was terrified of the vacuum cleaner, which was absurd for a dog who weighed more than most adults. But with Zara, he was different. From the very first night, Diesel positioned himself between Zara's crib and the bedroom door. He didn't pace, he didn't whine. He just lay there, 130 pounds of muscle and wrinkled skin, like a black boulder that nothing could move. Keisha's mother said she was crazy. Her neighbor said that dog will snap one day. Her coworker sent her articles about Cane Corso attacks. Everyone had an opinion. Nobody had met Diesel. Because what Diesel did every single morning told a different story. At exactly 6:10 a.m., before anyone else was awake, he would walk to Zara's crib, rest his massive chin on the edge, and wait. The moment her eyes opened, his tail would start, slow at first, then faster, thumping the floor like a drum roll for the most important person in his world. He followed her everywhere. When she learned to crawl, he crawled beside her, dragging his belly across the floor at her speed. When she grabbed his ears, he didn't flinch. When she stuck her fingers in his mouth, he just sat there with his jaw open, like a patient old man at the dentist. Stories like these remind us why some bonds are too powerful to explain. If this made you feel something, you're exactly who we make these for. Then came the morning that changed everything. Zara was 13 months old. She had just learned to pull herself up on furniture, and her new obsession was the staircase. Keisha was in the kitchen making breakfast. Zara was in the living room, or so she thought. What the baby monitor camera captured still makes Keisha cry every time she watches it. Zara had pulled herself to the top of the 3 stairs leading to the sunken living room. She was teetering on the edge, one hand gripping the railing, the other reaching for a toy that had fallen below. Diesel was across the room, but the moment Zara wobbled, his head snapped up. He crossed the room in 2 strides, and just as her grip slipped, he pressed his entire body against the top step, blocking her fall. Zara tumbled into 130 pounds of Cane Corso instead of down 3 hardwood stairs. She didn't cry, she laughed. She grabbed his ear and pulled herself back up, using Diesel as her personal safety wall. He didn't move until Keisha came running in 30 seconds later. The dog that was 72 hours from death had just saved her daughter from a fall that could have meant a fractured skull. The dog everyone called dangerous had moved faster than any parent could have. Keisha sat on the floor and held Diesel's massive head in her hands. "They were going to kill you," she whispered. "They were going to kill you, and you just saved my baby." Today, Zara is 2 years old. Diesel is 4. They eat breakfast together every morning. Zara in her high chair, dropping pieces of banana that Diesel catches before they hit the floor. They nap together every afternoon, Zara curled against his chest like he was built specifically to hold her. And every night, without fail, Diesel checks every door in the house before lying down at the top of those same stairs where he once caught her fall. The shelter that almost put him down now uses his photo on their adoption page. The caption reads, "Every dog deserves 72 more hours." Because sometimes the ones the world gives up on are the ones who end up saving us. And sometimes the most dangerous thing about a Cane Corso is how fast they steal your heart. Would you adopt a dog with 72 hours left? Or is that a risk you wouldn't take? Tell me in the comments.